How you doing, folks? Today I'm gonna make it short and sweet. This is a 2018 Can Am Outlander 450. This is a four-wheel drive base model, and I'm gonna give you a list of pros and cons. The pros: the payload. This thing will haul 1,300 pounds, and I've never seen a four-wheeler this size pull that kind of weight, because the Hondas, they sure will not pull that kind of weight. The rear end on them are a lot more squishy than these, and the rear end on these, you can't barely move it. It's really tough, but the one thing I don't like is the front end's a little bit weak, but it makes for a nice ride. My buddy rode it, and he said it rides like a Cadillac compared to the Honda Ranchers and Foremans. Some of the cons: the plastics are a little bit brittle. I jammed a log up in this thing by accident, and it broke. It flew right off. But other than that, the back, I've bent those plenty of times, and they're pretty strong for the matter. I mean, but this thing's very easy to work on. Very strong. I love the four-wheel drive. It's like working on a truck. If you've ever worked on a four-wheel drive truck, that's what this thing is like. It's a miniature version of that. The CVT transmission, I haven't ever experienced it slipping. No power loss. I mean, it was great. It's got a cooling system. It was made for riding trails for hours. Very large radiator for the size motor. And the cooling fans will come on if you ride real slow for a while, because it's got a lot of sensors for the cooling system and the motor and what temperature it's getting. But the CVT also has a high and a low gear, reverse, neutral, everything the other four-wheel has. And then the four-wheel drive, you can shift on the go. You just keep going and put it in four-wheel drive. High and low beams. This one doesn't have the diverse power steering, but you can add it on if it's a base model. If you get the more expensive models, it'll come with it. It's got a really nice airtight box on the back in case you want to carry something sensitive to mud and weather and everything like that. Now this four-wheeler is actually really quiet. You see the size of the muffler on it. It's really quiet. If you want to ride at night or something, your neighbors ain't even gonna hear you. But the fuel tank carries roughly 4 or 5 gallons of gas. Couldn't tell you exactly at the moment. So I've gotten 8 hours of riding out of one tank on this, and I still got some left. It's pretty good. The four-wheel drive works really good, but the front and the rear differentials, it's like a positive traction. So both of the wheels are going to move at the same speed. Therefore, it's like a solid axle, which is great for traction, but if you want to ride it in your yard all the time, I wouldn't recommend it if you like your grass. But anyways, the brakes are good, especially compared to a Honda. The bars, solid, also especially compared to a Honda. As you can see, I'm not a big Honda fan. And I've used a winch plenty of times. I was pulling bushes, and it never hesitated. This is one hell of a four-wheeler. I would recommend it. It is worth your money. And thank y'all. Y'all subscribe and like this video, and check out my page if you like some more.